first week that we were there, we had a church service. I saw this woman and she was looking at the service but was really unsure if she wanted to come or not, so I went and got her. When she sat down, she just started to cry and could just see like hopelessness in her eyes. After I prayed with her, she went to the YWAM Pantanal staff and told them in Portuguese that I had voiced her name while I prayed for her, and she had not told me her name. It was just that little seed that was planted there. I completely trust that God is going to take care of the rest and that He's going to use other people in her life to make that seed grow and to blossom into expanding.
One night at one of our community services at our base, there's 2 deaf kids and their mom was translating for them. And so I noticed that no one on our team spoke sign language except for me. And so I went out and I just hung out with the kids and I got to tell them about God and worship. And then one of the kids didn't know much about Him, and so we played soccer, and then he found out who God and Jesus really were, and he got to take a Bible home with him. For his future, I think it helps him out because he's heard the word, he's never had a Bible in Portuguese, so it helps him learn more because he gets to read about it now, and his mom's there also to translate. Up to that moment, I was like, I don't really know what my purpose was on the team, and then when I saw like deaf kids, I was like, oh, this is so cool, I want to be here so much more now.
George was a 41-year-old man that I went out in the community, and God spoke to me to speak to this guy. He was a drug addict, been a drug addict for his whole life, had 3 kids, missing all his teeth. His life was in a rough spot. He was miserable. For whatever reason, God grabbed a hold of my heart with this man, and I saw God change this man's life in a matter of 3 weeks. I personally spent 15 hours, about a week at least, at his house ministering to him. I would just kept going over there. God kept telling me, go over there, talk to him, talk to him, talk to him. And the last 2 weeks of our outreach, we were building a wall, and he asked if he could come help. So he quit doing the job he was doing in the community and started spending time at our base helping build this wall for free. He was starting to build relationships with Pastor Hubens, the base director, with all the staff at the base. He started getting really close with all of us. He became a part of our team. We all felt so much love for this guy. The way that God had changed his life so rapidly. Quit doing drugs, quit doing drinking, and it wasn't even an issue anymore for him. God completely transformed his heart to where he got rid of his house, and the day after we left, he moved into the YWAM base and is now volunteering. He'll be doing DTS in June. His kids, who he hadn't seen for years, his kids weren't allowed to be around him, they didn't want anything to do with him, were able to come to our last big worship service we had, and we pulled him up on stage in front of the entire community, probably 300 people, and had the privilege of praying over this man and just really honoring him and just blessing him in front of his whole community, in front of his family. Really lift him up in front of his whole family. It's something that they'd never seen before, their dad up on stage, and they can sit there and say they're proud of their father for the transformation of his life. My life was affected deeply by this man. Yeah, I saw God move more than I've ever seen in anybody's life.
We went to Pantanal and we split up into 2 teams. I went with Danielle and Dan this one time to give a lady a water filter. The pathway that we took there was completely treacherous. We went through barbed wire, went through swamps, a bunch of mosquitoes that were breathing in. We got to the lady's house, which was a half mile away. We put the water filter in. After the water filter, we asked her if she knew Jesus. She said yes. We asked her if she had a relationship with him. She said yes. We then asked if we could pray for her. She said yes. And after we prayed for her, she was weeping. I started getting choked up and teary-eyed. It was at that moment that I realized the reason why we came to Brazil.
A memorable moment that I really got to see God touch someone's life was when I went to a church and I got to share my testimony, and just a piece of it that when God brought me to Brazil and I got to play soccer with the locals that were there, and just how I just saw God speak to me and say like, hey, this is what I got to do with you while you're here, and my past with soccer, and so I just loved it so much. And so I got to share that and just some different aspects of a relationship with God at the church. And afterwards, the woman came up to me and she's just like, I didn't realize like such passion and joy can come out of a relationship with God. And she was just like really happy to know that it's for her too.